centuries, people have known and believed that the Earth is the center of the universe. The moon, the sun, and other celestial bodies are revolving around it. Ptolemy's geocentric model has been accepted by the Catholic Church. Recently, an Italian astronomer named Galileo Galilei challenged this belief. We have a correspondent in Italy to deliver the news.
Galileo Galilei challenged Ptolemy's geocentric system model by replacing it with Copernicus's heliocentric idea. He claimed that the center of the solar system is actually the sun and not the earth. He used a telescope to gather evidence supporting his claim.
Is it true that his idea was already discovered by someone named Copernicus?
Yes, however, Copernicus feared repercussions from the church, putting a disclaimer at the beginning of his work. But here we have Galileo declaring that the heliocentric system to be not just a possible truth being speculated about in theory, but the actual truth that's putting him in house arrest.
And that's for today's segment of What's New in 1610. Welcome back on What's New in 1610. A moment ago, we told the origin story of Ptolemy versus Copernicus, which is for ages, people in the church believed that the earth was the center of the universe.
Then along came Copernicus, shaking things up, saying, hey, maybe the sun deserves the spotlight.
And lastly, Galileo came in, supported Copernicus, and said, let's bring out this awesome telescope and see what really is going on.
But that doesn't end there. Chanel, have you ever heard of someone named Daniel Kolak?
Is he the one who sang, nasa iyo na ang lahat, minamahal kitang tapat. Nasa iyo na ang lahat, pati ang puso ko.
That's Daniel Padilla. I am pertaining to someone named Daniel Kolak. He is a philosopher born in 1955 in Zagreb, Croatia. He argues that in the famous debate between Galileo and the Catholic Church, the Church was right and Galileo was wrong.
So controversial. Wait, he's the one who discussed the concept of Church of Science.
That is right. He proved it by doubting the obvious. Let us close our eyes and imagine. Let's say we're in a rocket ship and we go straight up until we are in a synchronous orbit around the Earth.
Stars.
Now that we're orbiting around the Earth, look up and what do we see? The sun, the moon, and all the stars still going about the spinning Earth below.
But to see with our own eyes what the real movement of the solar system is, we must leave Earth's reference and go to the sun, right? Here we go!
Lo and behold, we now see the sun perfectly still beneath us, and all the planets and stars moving. Finally, Copernicus and Galileo vindicated.
Let's try to orbit around Mars. Wait, what? The Earth, the other planets, the sun, and all the stars are revolving around it. So, Mars is at the center? No, wait. What's going on?
Whatever reference point in the solar system you're looking out from, the place will seem to be still and everything will seem to be moving around you.
Then what are the true motions of the planets and the sun? Do they even have a true motion in some absolute sense? Even if they did, you can't, even in principle, We can see it just by looking. There is no position in the universe from which to look.
That is what Kolak's trying to say. The church official's argument with Galileo was we couldn't tell just by looking. Therefore, the church was right.
So you're saying that neither the geocentric or heliocentric model can be called a fact. Then how come we consider the sun being the center of the solar system in today's education?
Well, one of the most obvious answers that presents itself is that Copernicus' system must be simpler and should therefore be preferred on grounds of simplicity, but nothing to be further from the truth. Do you remember seeing the heliocentric model in your classrooms?
Yes, along with pictures of great scientists such as Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison.
Scientific truths were taught to us when we were kids. Most of us believe that those were facts because that's what we've been told. Small wonder some critics of science, such as Paul Verhoeven, have remarked that scientific facts are taught at a very early age in the very same manner in which religious facts were taught only a century ago. There is no attempt to awaken the critical abilities of the pupil so that he may be able to see things in perspective. Society, for example, is criticized most severely and often most unfairly, but science is accepted from this criticism. If such a clash occurs between science and Christianity, science is most likely to be right and the latter wrong. Pursue this investigation further, and you will see that science has now become as oppressive as the ideologies it had once to fight.
Come to think of it, when you examine the scientific revolution since the 17th century, it quickly becomes very clear that every view that has ever been held by anybody has turned out to be false or deeply questionable. At the time it was held, however, people took it to be the final truth. The scientists of the time claimed, while their theories might not be absolutely perfect and account for everything, they were on the verge.
Today, scientists will talk this way, claiming the theories that are the latest, but have them on the verge of understanding everything. But the theories don't get closer and closer, they shift completely, and the new theory has them on the verge again.
Science might well be the best way to truth, but if the propositions we believe about the world arrive in our minds via having our psychological attitudes indoctrinated into us by scientific authorities, then we are not convinced of those propositions. We are indoctrinated.
We may as well be members of the faith of what may be the greatest religion that has ever yet to exist, the Church of Science.
So that's where the title came from.
Yes, Kolak wants us to view science as a belief system instead of contradicting theories. It can inspire more ideas in our origins. He emphasizes critical thinking and deeper understanding of our place in the universe.
All this realization comes through thinking my beliefs.
Now, don't have an existential crisis on me, but that's a good start. How about you?
What
What
do
do
you
you
believe
believe
in
in
and
and
why
why
do
do
you
you
believe
believe
it?
it?